Hello. Hello. As you can see, I am wearing glasses because I'm blind. No, I'm just kidding. I just need them for, I guess, reading or for just I can't see far. So that's me. So I don't know what you guys think of that, but I can't see far, and I'm not sure if I can see far or I'm nearsighted or something, but I use my glasses all the time, which I haven't been wearing for some time, but I'm starting to wear them again because I don't want my vision to go down again. But that's not the point of this. So I would like to say this review will be Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Now, first off, stop with that Jurassic Park stuff. It's over. Get it in your head. Jurassic Park is over. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to bring hate to anything, but I feel that this is how I feel. First off, I think that Jurassic Park has been going on for a long time, and it's been another. It's just been like Star Wars, the same thing. Just like, let's get different characters, let's put them together, let's do this. Let's get random characters. Let's call them Han Solo. Let's call them young Han Solo. Let's call them baby Darth Vader. Let's call them little Darth Vader. Let's call it Grandpa Vader. Whatever. But, nah, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding about Jurassic Park. I wouldn't say that about Jurassic Park. But yeah, it's kind of... it's not that it's getting stale. It's that I feel that Jurassic Park as a whole has gone through a lot, and I feel that it should have ended. It's like, let's see, what movies at the moment, I don't know, because there's many movies that even though they come to an end, they somehow thought of like 5 years later, oh, let's just bring it back, let's revive it. But it should be I'm assuming it should be like Matrix, because at the moment Matrix does not have a reboot or a follow-up. Right now, at the moment that I'm recording this, I haven't seen anything yet for a Matrix. So I have to say Jurassic Park should have ended like Matrix. It should have just ended. But let me give you my opinion on what I thought of this movie. So going into it, I didn't think it was going to be that good, because I just seen the same thing over and over. Just that the dinosaurs are roaming and that they're going extinct. Oh yeah, the same thing over and over. They're going extinct. But this time, it's not about taking down any dinosaur. Let me put that again. This time, it's not about taking out any dinosaur and trying to stop a terrorizing, it's not about stopping any dinosaur this time as the previous ones, but it's not about taming any dinosaurs. It's not about, oh, here's the dinosaurs and the dinosaurs are loose and they're going crazy because they want to take over the world or something. No, this time, and as you can see again, I'm wearing my glasses. So let me put this straight. So this Jurassic Park is now about a volcano that's in the island of where all the prehistoric dinosaurs are at. And Chris Pratt, which he is funny, I have to give you that. You are funny, Chris Pratt. With you, I feel like, yes, you are a lovable character right off the bat, which at the beginning I would have thought, nope, we're not getting no Chris Pratt anymore, because like I would have thought it was more like Star Wars, that they say, okay, we have Harrison Ford, and then all of a sudden let's kill Harrison Ford and remove him from everything, and let's just build a new timeline with just a young Harrison Ford or a young Han Solo and all of this. So when I went to see this which I really didn't care much for the trailers. I didn't care much for this movie at all, even though I went to see it just to review it for you guys. At first, when I went for it, I just said, it's gonna be just boring. It's gonna be the same old story as always, just being in the same park, the theme park again, over and over, theme park, and just having these dinosaurs roam around, attacking people. But no, this time wasn't about people being attacked by these dinosaurs for no reason. This time, it was about a volcano that was erupting, and Chris Pratt, I don't know what's his character name, but Chris Pratt had to save Chris Pratt and his girlfriend, technically his girlfriend because they kissed in the movie. So I have to say his girlfriend, Chris Pratt and his girlfriend, had to save all the dinosaurs because he was sent by, I think, the grandpa from Northern California. I think grandpa. I'm not sure who sent them, but they sent them to save the dinosaurs because they were all being trampled, or they were all going to get destroyed by the volcano. So Chris Pratt went to the island to try to save them. He saved a bunch of them, but at the same time, his plan kind of failed at first because he went to try to save the specific dinosaur, that mutated dinosaur, but that failed because his partner went and got his gun and started shooting at the dinosaur and almost killing it, technically killing it, because it went down. So when he almost technically killed the dinosaur, this one partner of Chris Pratt, or his soldier, the problem was that he almost killed it, and there was a doctor that, yeah, she did save the dinosaurs. But the plan for this was that the plan for the guys that were saving the dinosaurs was not because they wanted to free them or save them for something good. They were trying to sell them to try to make money off of them. But all of that failed. All of that failed. None of it went through the way they planned. They were selling them, but the dinosaurs got crazy, and they found, I guess, the dinosaurs in their mind, or somehow they got in their mind that, yes, let's take down every single human that's auctioning us, because that's coming for us. But before that, some of the dinosaurs in that island ended up getting killed, because there's no way that Chris Pratt could save every single dinosaur on the island. Nothing like that. So when they escaped, because I actually thought that Chris Pratt would somehow die or something, because let me put this straight. There are movies that the main character lives through most of his life during the movie, most of the time during the movie, and there are times where, for some technical reason, they decide, let's kill off the main character and let's have a secondary character take over for the main character, which is something that's so weird, but it's funny to me. It's funny. At the same time, it's funny. It's kind of weird because I think that, yeah, the main character is gonna stick through the whole movie, but for some reason they take it to a different road and just go, bye, main character, and let's put the secondary character as the takeover, the one that takes over for the main character. So Chris Pratt couldn't save every single dinosaur, but when he saved some of the dinosaurs, I'm not sure if he saved all kinds of dinosaurs, but he saved some of the dinosaurs on the boat. But I was kind of feeling that, yeah, Chris Pratt wouldn't have made it, because for some reason he was still drugged out, but in a way he got up and just ran away because of the volcano bursting and erupting. So he left, and he went with his girlfriend and another scientist or something, or a hacker or something. They left. But the problem with this movie is that I felt that even though it was about saving the dinosaurs, I don't get how some of the dinosaurs during the movie were captured into the crates and sent away, but not every single dinosaur got out. I don't know what happened. The dinosaur was in the crate. I don't know how you guys saw this movie. If you saw this movie, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. If you saw it, please let me know what you thought of this. Because it's kind of weird for me, because I thought that some of the dinosaurs that were put into crates, they were taken in trucks, but then they never escaped. I never got to see them come back or escape or somehow try to say, look, these are the dinosaurs that we have to bring back, because they all got separated in some way, or somehow they got separated. But that part of the movie never gets explained, or none of that gets fixed. But the problem is that this guy that's living in the mansion with the grandpa and the granddaughter, they're there to try to take control of every single dinosaur and auction them. But all of that's going great until Chris Pratt sends his beloved dinosaur to take over. But the only problem I have with this movie and every other Jurassic Park movie, and I'll say it right from the start, the only reason I don't like Jurassic Park anymore is because there's always a fight between one dinosaur that takes out another dinosaur. It's so weird. It's not just a full front dinosaurs just escaping the land and trying to save them. Nope. The problem is that there's always a bad dinosaur that tries to attack Chris Pratt or Chris Pratt's partners. They try to attack his partners, Chris Pratt's partners. But I'm not really sure what's the name of the character that Chris Pratt plays. Okay, so we continue with that. That Chris Pratt, he ends up having his dinosaur fight another dinosaur, which is weird because every movie that I've seen of Jurassic Park, I mean the most recent Jurassic Parks out there, I felt that there's always a fight scene between dinosaurs. But for some reason, I felt that this time, no, I always feel the same thing. Like, there are dinosaurs out on land, but for some reason they show kind of, I don't know if they're dinosaurs or whatever you want to call them, like sea monsters that come out and try to help the dinosaur fight against the evil dinosaur. But this time, this whale-like dinosaur, I don't know what it's called, but this whale-like dinosaur comes and the dinosaur, the water dinosaur, or whatever you want to call it, the sea serpent, I guess we call it sea serpent, comes out only for a little bit of the movie. It's not even part of the movie this time. But in the previous one of Jurassic World, just Jurassic World itself, not Fallen Kingdom, just Jurassic World itself, this dinosaur was the one this sea serpent was the one that helped the dinosaur attack the enemy dinosaur. Chris Pratt's dinosaur was the one that fought against the evil dinosaur, because that evil dinosaur was trying to take over and kill every other dinosaur in the previous movie. But in this movie, Chris Pratt's mutated dinosaur was the one that ended up being the good one. But it was being attacked, which is so weird that in every movie, I hope the creators of this movie, or the producers of this movie, or the directors of this movie get in their mind that it's not about dinosaurs fighting each other. It's just the same thing. But as always, Chris Pratt was funny, and as always, the CGI was great. As always, I felt that the dinosaurs did do a lot of funny things. They ended up taking down the bad guys that were trying to auction them. But once again, I'm going to say it once and for all. Why is it that some of the dinosaurs go in crates and trailers and they leave, but you never get to see them again? And the problem is, the only thing I have with this movie is that this movie should have just ended. It shouldn't have been another Jurassic Park. I felt like it ended, but I guess they find ways of bringing another Jurassic Park, and they're like, oh, I want it to be completely different. Okay, so let me put this straight. The creators or whoever, someone in Jurassic Park, in the Jurassic Park trilogy, but not someone in the Jurassic Park trilogy, someone who, I don't know if it's the creator, the producer, or someone out of there that was making this movie said, we're going to make this movie completely different than what the previous movies were, because most of these movies were considered just bland. They're just like, I want it to be completely different than what the previous movies were about, because these movies will become stale if we don't come up with something different. But what I love about this movie that most people don't appreciate, and I do appreciate this movie. The reason I appreciate this movie is for the background music. It is just so insane. The music that they chose for this movie was insane. It was great. The scores for this movie were great. That is including I guess this, oh man, I don't want to necessarily compare this movie to Star Wars, but I guess I have to. I felt that this movie is on par with Star Wars, as lots of music, lots of CGI, lots of sequels and prequels, and I guarantee that one of these days, I guarantee that one time in my life, or in your lives, I think there will be, I'm guessing there will be a prequel, because I felt like there's going to be a prequel or not a sequel, but a prequel, which for most of you that don't know what's a prequel, I would like to let you guys know that it's a movie that comes before the actual movie. Like, say, okay, so Jurassic Park was the first one, the very first Jurassic Park, but this time they're going to go way beyond that timeline and go backwards. Or what I'm thinking is that it's like, oh man, it's almost like Star Wars. Let me tell you why I feel that this movie will become more like Star Wars, even though it has somehow become sort of like Star Wars, which I didn't want to mention Star Wars because this review is not about Star Wars. So what I'm thinking of this movie is that there will be a time where they come out with a timeline to try to mess with what happened already. It's almost like most movies nowadays, that they say we have 5 movies out and this is how the timeline has been, but now we're gonna come out with our next movie, the 6th movie, and we're going to mess with every single timeline and just say all these 5 movies don't belong here anymore. But at first there's like 5 movies: Jurassic Park 2, 3, 4, whatever, so on, until we got to what we have now. I felt like, yes, that's the timeline for now. For now, that's the timeline. But the problem is that there is ways that the creators, the producers, or the directors decide, and they say, let's screw up the timeline and let's put Jurassic Park, all of this, let's just throw it out in the trash, and let's go back all the way back to Jurassic Park 1, or now we're going to call it Jurassic Park 2, and we're going to call it The Land Before Jurassic Park. Just like, it just reminds me, just like the movie The Land Before Time, if you guys were around during that time, because I'm 23 years old and I've watched most of I watched most of those movies, which is insane. I watched every dinosaur movie out there. Nope, we're not including no Barney. I know he's a dinosaur, but we're not including no Barney. That is not here. No Barney. He's a dinosaur, but no Barney here. No, so The Land Before Time. I guess I'm not sure if The Land Before Time came out before Jurassic Park, but if that's how it was, I felt that, for me, I feel still to this day that Jurassic Park kind of got its idea from The Land Before Time, or maybe they took some of the ideas from that movie and put it into their own movies. But the only difference is that they try to make it more action and more have like jump scares, sort of jump scares, because to me it's sort of like a jump scare, but it wasn't scary. It was funny, and I would rate this this is hard to rate it, because most of these movies, for some people are like wow, and for some other people were like meh, and then for some other were like woo, and for some other people were like what, I didn't expect this movie to be this low, or I didn't expect this movie to be this great. But let me give you my opinion. Okay, before I start rating it, I will say, look, in the auditorium that I went to, in this theater, in the auditorium, most of the people that went to watch this, they all clapped when Chris Pratt's dinosaur attacked the evil dinosaur. And people clapped. They were like, okay, something like that. They were clapping. And when the movie ended, people were still clapping. It didn't matter if they were adults or kids or seniors or youngsters or kids or toddlers. I don't think toddlers, but I'm saying children. Not child. I don't know why I said child. I mean children of all ages, seniors, youngsters, teenagers, preteens, adults, whatever you want to say. Everybody, including me. I wasn't thinking this movie was that bad, as people claim that it's been bad. The reason I felt that this movie was great, in my opinion, was that it was something different. Just something completely different. But I felt that it was cheesy in the end when the dinosaurs fought each other. I just felt that was just insanely bad, because why every movie has to have almost towards the end, they have to have a fight with dinosaurs. Dinosaurs fight each other. Like, for reals. But with the rating of my own thoughts, oh man, I want to say that this movie was, out of a 10, I would say it was a 7. And why am I giving it a 7 was because even though I felt that these movies should just be over, because they end up, the creators or the directors or Steven Spielberg, if he's the one behind these movies still, I felt that, look, Steven Spielberg, you should end these movies because it's way too long. It's like, who wants to see Star Wars? Like, that's the reason that people didn't like this last Star Wars, which I fairly enjoyed. I guess, for me, I'm not trying to trash this Star Wars, but for the most part, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that movie, Star Wars Han Solo, which I felt like, yes, the first movie that I sat down and actually enjoyed, like, yes, from beginning to end. But let's get back to it, because you guys are thinking that I'm talking about a different movie now. So for the most part, I enjoyed it, but I felt that this movie was way too long, even though it was only like 2 hours and 30 minutes. But I still felt like, yo, this movie was way too long, which I kind of wanted to fall asleep during the movie, because there were some parts where I was like, even though there was a lot of action, there was a lot of movements. It wasn't just like just talking and talking and talking, like most movies that they go and talk and talk and talk. Let me put this straight and clear. I would like to say that this movie was, if you're going to compare this movie to another movie like King Kong, Skull Island, oh man, this movie was insane compared to that mediocre movie of King Kong, Skull Island. It wasn't nowhere near King Kong of 2005, or whatever King Kong came before that. But I know that the first movie, the movie that I saw was King Kong 2005, which I felt like, yeah, it was a good movie. But then the remake or the reboot or the so-called upgraded version was just bad. Like, what are you planning? But for me, I would have to say yes. I fairly enjoyed this movie and I give it a 7. So, I don't know about you guys, what you thought of this movie, but it's my opinion, and that's my thought on this movie. I'm not just here trying to give random opinions and random scores and, oh, you didn't watch the movie, you didn't like it, you didn't like this, you didn't like that. Yes, I felt that there was a lot of things that were wrong with this movie, and there's always things wrong with every movie. There's no movie that's out there that's going to be a 10 out of 10. Like, whoa, doesn't even matter if it's a comedy. I'm still not going to say 10 out of 10 for the movies. But for me, that was a 7, a 6 or 7. And I would like to say that I enjoyed it. So that's my opinion. And if you guys have a different opinion, please let me know, because that's fine. I'm not here to just take up my opinion and say, this opinion has to be a fact. This has to be correct. I can't believe you didn't like this movie. Or I can't believe, what? You didn't like it? What are you talking about? You didn't enjoy it? What? No, it's like, whatever. If you guys ever say this movie was bad, or a movie was boring, or a movie sucked, or a movie needed to have this to make it better, like, yeah, I will think of it and try to process it in my mind and give you my opinion again and say, look. And if you guys ever want to just take my video and add on to it, or give your own opinion to what I think of anything, I would just say, look, that's it. I'm not hating. What am I, crazy? I'm not hating for anything. I'm not going to be hating because, oh man, this movie was bad. No, I'm not hating. I just keep on. This is my opinion. Every time I go watch a movie, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm going to watch the first Purge, even though it's probably boring or probably whatever. I would just like to say, look, man. I would like to say, I keep an open mind and just let it go. Say, look, I'm ready for this movie, and I felt like, yes, I feel like I want it. I enjoy it. No, this is my honest thought. I will always keep an open mind for every movie. It doesn't matter what kind of movie it is. I'll keep an open mind, because most of the time I've always been down for these movies. Like, I've always said, no, I'm not watching this movie. Just like how I recently said I wasn't going to go watch this movie. Just like I said, many movies I don't want to watch, and then I end up watching them because I feel that I would be good at giving you my honest opinion on all these movies. I'm not just going to say, this movie was bad, this movie was bad, this movie was great, this movie was great, just because I felt like this movie was great. This movie was bad because this movie was just bad. No, I have to give you my opinion on why I thought this movie lacked its own thing, or why this movie was insanely good, or why this movie was just unbalanced. Which when I say unbalanced, I mean, like, it wasn't good, it wasn't bad, it wasn't in between, it wasn't anything. It wasn't anything I expected it to be. But as this is coming to an end, I would like to let you guys know that my opinions are my opinions. If you have something completely different than what I have, I would just like to say, congrats. Just let me know what you think, and that will be the end. So, thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching. As always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.